Welcome and good morning and welcome to Edge Hill University and welcome to the launch of our Tackling the Blues Toolkit. We'll introduce everybody as the morning and afternoon go along. I'm going to keep things vaguely on track, and so I do have my phone and I do have a list of times which we've already messed up on. So not a great start to the morning. So thank you for being here, and we're going to start with an introduction from Mark Allenson, who's our Pro Vice Chancellor for External Relations at Edge Hill University, and then we will move through seamlessly to the point at which we launch the toolkit. Mark, thank you.
Well, good morning and welcome to a double bill at Edge Hill this morning. Got Dr. Alex and our very own Dr. Helen, who just introduced me, but more about Dr. Alex later. Our partnership with Everton in the community is 10 years old, and the programme itself, Tackling the Blues, is 7 years old, and it's developed hugely in that time, not least of which has been in developing the partnership with Tate Liverpool to extend the project into the arts. It's become nationally acclaimed and highly regarded as an early intervention sports and arts-based mental health and education programme. It's also multi-award winning too. Awards, of course, are great to receive. They rightly make those involved very proud of their contribution and what's been achieved. However, they really just validate what people do on those programmes day in and day out, whether that's organising the logistics, designing activities, working with teachers, getting input from medical health practitioners, or developing partnerships, and of course, most importantly, the work with the children and participants in the programme. There's an awful lot to do, and for very good reason. You'll hear how the programme is co-produced and the huge numbers of young lives whose mental health and education has improved as a result. So how's it done? Well, all will be revealed. There's now a toolkit developed by the Tackling the Blues team, funded by the Office for Students and Research England. The toolkit offers insights into how higher education and community organisations can work together with students, sharing knowledge and expertise with a focus on sport, the arts, education and mental health. And as well as the impact it has on the participants in Tackling the Blues, it's an amazing experience for our students. And there's over 3,000 Edge Hill students who've been involved. And this toolkit draws on their experiences, their knowledge and insights too. They gain valuable research and evaluation skills and can see the impact of what they contribute and what they do in a very real and human way. They develop valuable graduate attributes, much sought after by employers too, and helping them in their transition into highly skilled roles when they leave us. It's a delight to welcome Mike Zeller from Everton in the community. Mike's been a hugely important, inspiring leader, as well as a pragmatic doer over the last 7 years with this. And I'm really pleased that he's been joined by Louise Shannon from Tate Liverpool and Chris Clark from Chasing the Stigma. There is two student mentors here, Frank and Ollie, two who will talk about their experience on the programme. So I hope you enjoyed the morning and gain really valuable insight into the toolkit and its capabilities. Thank you.
Many thanks, Mark, for opening the toolkit launch today. I think I'd also like to just say thank you to Edge Hill for its unfailing support of Tackling the Blues for a number of years. As a programme, we've been very fortunate to have had the power, passion and financial backing of a number of organisations since we began. And our friends from the Premier League Charitable Fund have had a key part to play in this, and I'd like to thank them too because they are with us today. Today, though, we are marking the end of 2 years of funding from the Office for Students and Research England, supporting the exploration of students' involvement in knowledge exchange activity through Tackling the Blues. They recognised something in the project that was worthy of substantial funding, and that belief and support allowed us to expand to include an arts component alongside our pre-existing sports offering. and we were able to welcome Tate Liverpool to our Tackling the Blues family. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank the Office for Students and Research England and to recognise the difference this funding has made to the experience and expertise of our students here at Edge Hill and the lives of over 3,000 children and young people in the last 2 years alone. You'll shortly be hearing from Ollie and Frank. We're bigging you up here, guys, so be ready. Two of our Tackling the Blues mentors and Edge Hill students about their experiences of working on the programme and their engagement in the knowledge exchange process. Tackling the Blues adopts a peer mentoring model of delivery. This aims to position students as positive role models for school pupils and provides students with the opportunity to engage in knowledge exchange while developing their own knowledge, employability, understanding and experience of mental health in education and local communities. The programme is accessed by students from a range of programmes across the university, and our research demonstrates the impact that this has had on them. To date, 3,222 students have engaged with the programme and benefited from engaging in knowledge exchange activities. Some have worked as peer mentors alongside Everton and Tate Liverpool staff, all of whom are here today, to co-create, co-deliver and co-evaluate in-person and virtual sessions, while others have received mental health training in partnership with our national charity, Chasing the Stigma, and they'll be speaking to you shortly, to improve their own mental health. Our ongoing research into the project shows that over 3/4 of Edge Hill students who engaged in the programme reported improvements in mental health literacy during lockdowns, which enabled them to self-manage their mental health and to complete their university studies. Given they have all the challenges they have faced over the last few years, I don't think any of that could be more important. Alongside this, many participating students have gone on to pursue graduate level employment in diverse professions across education, including teaching, mental health services, community sport and business management. There are a range of more detailed case studies in the toolkit. We are going to keep mentioning that, I'm sorry, which I hope you will have a look at when you can. I think that's probably quite enough from Edge Hill. You've had me and you've had Mark. No offence, Mark. So it's time to hand over to our partners from Everton in the Community and Tate Liverpool and Chasing the Stigma. And we'll begin with Mike, who Mark's already bigged up, so I don't need to do that, the Deputy CEO of Everton in the Community and a really valued partner for us. Thanks, Mike.
Wow, what a welcome. I'll have to come here more often. I think my wife would disagree with everything you said, Mark and Helen, but 10 years we've been working in partnership with Edge Hill, and over that time we've been able to achieve a whole range of numerous outcomes and achievements, and it's been very proud for ourselves at Everton and the Community to work alongside with the academic institution here and to, as I say, produce those outcomes. Those outcomes include creating numerous programmes, winning many awards, securing significant funding, supporting students and importantly making a difference. We have delivered over those years. One of the greatest achievements is TTB, and we'll talk to that in more detail over the course of the day. It is one of our most impactful programmes, TTB, and there's different ways to measure impact. At Everton in the Community, we measure it through social value. That's one of the ways that we measure it. For every £1 invested in Everton in the Community, we generate £30 in social value. 11% of that is comprised of TTB. So it gives you an idea of the significance of TTB. That equates to over £7 million per year in social value that TTB generates, which is a colossal amount. One of the real kind of pleasing things with TTB is the continual improvements. There's been continual growth. We've been able to move into more primary schools, more secondary schools, ultimately reaching more and more children and young people. Over the years, we've also then built in new dimensions, so we're supporting students, supporting teachers, and also building in new dimensions over the years, which we've seen with Tate Liverpool coming on board, and we'll hear from Lou shortly. We've also developing a new ADHD programme, which we launched in January, and all the children and young people engaged with TTB will have access to that ADHD screening. Also in January, we'll be launching our People's Place, which will be a purpose-built mental health hub, the first of its kind aligned to a Premier League football club. And that'll provide support across the entire life course to anybody, but again, provide access to the children and young people on TTB so that they can access virtual reality, immersive experiences, and also through our skills lab, STEM and eSTEAM provision. So there's continual growth, and as we move forward over the next years, move into 2026, 2027, we've also got the Goodison legacy. So some of you may be aware that Goodison Park will be moving to a new location, Branley Moor Dock on the waterfront. The plans for Goodison Park are quite ambitious, and what we were doing is seeing Goodison Park transformed into a 150 million programme, which will be run by Everton in the community. On the site, we'll have a new health hub, a new youth hub, and again, TTB and the objectives that we have throughout TTB will be involved with that and built into that development. So there's been huge growth over the years, and I just want to say a big thank you to two groups in particular, the funders that Helen has mentioned. For ourselves, Everton, the community, the Premier League, and through the PLPFA Fund in particular, being fantastic advocates of our work and funders over the years. They've been funding TTB since 2016, and also, of course, the Office for Students and Research England. And also the second group is the staff who are delivering the programme, the staff who are showing commitment, dedication, and showing genuine care towards the children and young people to, again, make a difference and to make sure that we do deliver on our outcomes. I'll hand back to Helen or Lou.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for the warm invitation. Hi, I'm hello, yeah. My name's Louise Shannon. I'm Head of Programme Delivery at Tate Liverpool. And we are kind of newbies on this programme, really. We're not anymore. We're part of it really does feel that we're part of the family. So Tate Liverpool joined Tackling the Blues on the partnership in 2020, and I think who knew then what we would know now is that it had become as urgent and as kind of important as possible. The kind of core at Tate is using creativity for all, and what we've been able to do on this programme is really look at our collection and use that as the impetus for creativity and to aid mental health support alongside the sports programme. So it's really been using the national collections, which are your collections, as a tool to aid mental health and well-being. Over the course of the programme, of course, the team have been both in schools, out of schools, online, and I just want to kind of extend my thanks to all of our team, including Phil McClure here and Emma Curd, who's no longer working with us, but the kind of resilience and the own kind of challenges that the team have been kind of quite extraordinary. But for us to be able to develop the programme in partnership with Edge Hill University and Everton in the community has been absolutely incredible. We were really lucky in being able to bring some of those resources back into the heart of Tate, so we were able to twist some of the resources that were developed in partnership with children and young people and the mentors into the home of Tate, so we would use them as part of our family programmes over the summer holidays, and that really gave people another moment of engagement, of being able to use these tools in a kind of family setting as well, again with kind of art at the heart. So just to kind of reiterate how important Tackling the Blues has been and has kind of become a real staple in the learning programme. So Tate Liverpool has had a very innovative learning programme since its development in 1988 at the Albert Dock. But we really see Tackling the Blues as a kind of core staple as our programme going forward. Tate Liverpool will close its doors temporarily in 2020, next September. Who knows time anymore? And we're really looking forward to thinking about how we kind of develop our partnerships further, and of course looking to the future of when Tate Liverpool reopens in 2025-ish, but don't hold me to that. Again, just to really extend my thanks for today, and we're really delighted that we can be part of the Toolkit going forward. Thank you.
I made the fatal error of leaving my schedule up here, so I was panicked what was next. I think just to flag as well, there is actually some artwork around the room, so please do at some point, if you get the chance, have a little look. These works have already been exhibited in Tate, so these have already been in a national arts organisation for viewing by the general public, and we brought them here from the children and young people who've been part of the programme. So if you get the chance, please do have a look. Okay, Chris is next on our list. Chris.
Hello everyone, and thank you so much to colleagues at EitC and the partners involved in the Toolkit for inviting us here today to tell you a little bit more about Chasing the Stigma and what we do. We're a national charity that is on a mission to normalise and humanise conversations about mental health, to eradicate the stigma associated with poor mental health, which we will all experience at some stage in our lives, and to make access to support as easy as possible for everyone in the UK, whenever and wherever they need it. The way we do that, the first way is through the Hub of Hope. It's what we're widely known for as a charity. The Hub of Hope is a pioneering platform, a digital database, which is the most comprehensive database of community mental health services in the country. So it's available on an app and a website. There's more than 7,000 services on the platform, from NHS services to voluntary sector organisations, peer support groups and private offers as well, all housed in one platform, one place where anyone can go to find support. The technology within the system geolocates where you are on your phone or on your desktop device and tells you exactly what is available in your local area. And as I said, it's there for everyone to use. And most importantly, it's there at every stage of people's mental health journey. So this isn't just a crisis solution, even though there is crisis support on there, and there's ways to find support when you need it. But as I said, what's important about the platform is that you can find out what mental health support services out there at any stage. And actually what we say to people is download the thing and familiarise yourself straight away, even when you're experiencing positive mental health, with what's available, because you'll never know when you need it or when you can refer friends, family, colleagues to local services. Our development of the Hub of Hope is supported and complemented by our delivery of our training programme, the Ambassadors of Hope training service. And this serves our other aim, as I say, of normalising and humanising conversations about mental health. So the Ambassador of Hope programme, we go into organisations and we deliver brief intervention training. It's usually between 45 minutes and hour workshops to try and get as many people relaxed and talking about their mental health, having relaxed conversations about mental health, and also knowing how to use the hub to find support when they need it. To date, we've got over 7,000 services on the Hub of Hope platform. We have more than 23,000 users at its peak every month. Through our training offer, we've delivered to more than 100 organisations, and over 19,000 people have gone through that programme. And we're delighted to say, with EitC University, they've been one of our biggest cohorts of that training offer. So we've had 1,400 students go through that programme, and that very much laid the foundations for certainly the mentors who've gone through the Tackling the Blues programme, and it's something we hope to continue, obviously, with EitC moving forwards. We are now the go-to signposting provider for NHS England. So when you go onto their website, you'll see the Hub of Hope as their main signposting platform. We're also used by a range of regional NHS trusts, by police forces and ambulance services across the country, and by Mind and Samaritans. We're also their main signposting partner as well. You may have also seen our campaigns with Network Rail. So in train stations and trains across the country, you'll see promotion of the Hub of Hope and our services, and QR codes to be able to download the hub and access support. We've also partnered this year with Student Roost, who are one of the largest providers of students' accommodation in the country. And it was a fabulous campaign where they've put posters behind 38,000 student doors. The campaign's called Behind Every Door. So, you know, when students are in the room or in common areas throughout their accommodation, they're aware of the Hub of Hope and they're able to access support. And again, it's something we're hoping to collaborate with universities and certainly here at Edge Hill to talk about how we can extend that programme. And in terms of our youth provision, obviously something which the Toolkit is focused on, we are further developing our services, our training offer for young people in schools, but also the development of the Hub of Hope platform to make sure that it's fit for purpose for young people and it's user-friendly. So again, you know, we'll be looking to work with Tackling the Blues partners and partner schools, certainly, to explore how we can develop the Hub even further to make sure it's accessible for young people. At the moment, there are 1,300 services on there that are specifically for young people's mental health. So we're obviously incredibly keen to keep growing the platform, keep growing the service, and of course, making sure everybody in the country knows that it's available, that the help is there in their pocket. You know, most people have smartphones. The help is there, it's available to you. Where people don't have digital access, we're working with councils and other providers to make sure that people are able to access it through devices across the community. So I'll finish by saying, you know, if not now, but certainly during lunch, get your phones out, go to the App Store or the Play Store, download the Hub of Hope, and straight away start familiarising yourself with what's available in your local area and share that information with everyone you know. So thanks very much for your time. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris, and I think that proves absolutely how privileged we've been to have Chasing the Stigma as part of the team. So, Chris, thank you very much. So, we deliver this huge programme now, but we cannot do it without our students. Our students are at the core of this programme and the core of what makes it tick and what makes it work. And I'm really delighted to say that Frank and Ollie, not with an arm up the back at all, have been persuaded to come and to share their journey and to share their story with you. But just to say, this is possible because of the work that students like Frank and Ollie do to make Tackling the Blues a reality in hundreds of classrooms on an annual basis. So to you and to all the students from all of us, a huge thank you. But both of you, would you like to come up and join us?
Hello everyone, my name is Frank Pettigrew and I was a student mentor of the programme last year, so I'm just going to briefly explain my experience in the programme but also my academic progression. So during my time on the programme I developed a lot of skills in communication, but also it was a really inspiring and great initiative for children and young people to improve the mental health literacy but also mental health and well-being, and it's credit to the amazing work that Everton in the community do, not just on this programme but in many others as well. I completed the support mentor role during my placement last year, during my undergrad studies in sports coaching and development, and I really enjoyed the programme, and going into this year it developed my interest in mental health going forward, and after conversations with department staff, led me on to thinking about going on to the Masters, led me on to the Masters, and now I'm a Masters student, and now moving on to the lead mentor role, and hope to continue the work that I've did last year now as a lead mentor. Look forward to working with Everton in the community again. So thanks very much for your time, and thanks to Louise Haberfield as well for inviting me to talk. I appreciate it. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of the event. Thank you.
Cheers for that, Frank. So my name's Ollie. I've lost my voice, so I'm going to apologise. I was a lead mentor on the programme last year. I did it alongside my Masters with Andy, doing sport and mental health. And when I applied for the programme to work for Tackling Blues, I didn't really know what it was that I wanted to do. I just thought, you know what, this is an opportunity to get a bit of experience in this area. And ever since I signed up, I've never really looked back. It's been amazing. Seeing the impact the programme has, like you guys said, is phenomenal. You go into the schools and the kids are like, yes, it's Tackling the Blues Day. They really want us to come in and do what we do. And as well, we didn't realise that half an hour ago, having a chat in that focus group, it's been really good for our mental health as well, because having that impact and knowing the difference you're making on those students is so good for yourself, knowing what you're doing is worth time, if you like, worth putting the effort in. As well as that, the skills, like Frank said, that we've taken away from it, the confidence boost. If Louise had asked me to come and do this 2 years ago, I'd have laughed at her and walked away. But I'm here now. I've got the confidence to come and do this sort of thing. And as well as that, the confidence to go and apply for jobs and not just know that I'm ticking boxes on the job specification, but actually knowing that I would fit that job role. So I've come out of Tackling the Blues, come out of the Masters, and now work for Everton. Excuse me. Work for Everton full time, and yeah, it's been absolutely brilliant. So thank you very much, everyone involved.
Just to say, Ollie, Lou can be very persuasive, so you might think you just said no, but there would have been no chance of that. Okay, we are nearly there. We're nearly at the point where Andy's going to get up and launch the toolkit. But obviously that's 2 of our students. There have been many, many, many students involved. And again, I am going to say in a plug for the toolkit is have a look. Our students, the fact that we couldn't get all of our students come today is partly because of how busy they are, because they are pulled into so many things because they are such an asset. So do go on to the toolkit and have a look at the case studies and have a look at some of our students across both art and sport. There's some really exciting stories there to tell. Andy's going to come and introduce the toolkit. I think the toolkit sums up basically what a team effort this is. And I think before we do that, I think it's important to recognise all the people in this room. Because if you are here, in some way, shape or form, you have contributed to Tackling the Blues being what it is. And we can't thank you enough for that. It really is a big, sometimes it feels, team effort. And to our students, to all the staff, the teams across Everton and across Tate, and Aston, Rachel and the teams here at the university, a huge thank you to you all. And of course, just a little note to the lady standing behind the screen who Andy's now talking to, just in is to say a huge thank you to Lou for keeping us all basically on a day-to-day basis on track. I think that is the only way to describe it, so a huge thanks to Lou as well. So I'm going to hand over to Andy. I'm going to let him show you, with all his technical skills, the toolkit, to see what we've been basically banging on about for the last 35, 40 minutes. Andy? Okay.
Thanks, Helen. I was told to keep it short, so they put me on last right before lunch, which that's what 2 years of this project does to you. And I was reminded when we started this by my 6-year-old nephew, Uncle Andrew, you didn't have a hole in your head when you started. And what it means is the bald patch at the top of my head that you can't see. So this isn't really the indicator that you need for work on this project. But first off, just personal thanks to everybody, of course, in the room, particularly to the 2 guys that have just spoken, Frank and Ollie. They are among the real examples that we see of students who come through this particular project and then at the end of it go on to get some excellent employment outcomes. But they develop from where they come in their first year to where in your 3rd year. Evelyn, the head of sport and physical activity, who's also in the room, might recall us interviewing Frank as a first year after about 8 weeks at Edge Hill for a tour that we were due to go to the United States on, supported by the Student Opportunity Fund, just before COVID hit. And Frank came through the door petrified. That's the effect Evelyn has, by the way. But basically sat down saying, I'm not sure why I'm here because there's absolutely no chance I'm ever going to get on in this particular world because of the challenge that he faced. He smashed that interview, impressed, well, must have done because he impressed Evelyn. We said, yes, we'd take you. And then COVID came along, so sorry about that, Frank. We'll hopefully get you to the state. But it just reminded me 2-3 years ago when you did walk through that door, not just from you on an individual level, but how transformative this project is for students when they engage in it. There are many others in the room, and I know the camera's looking at me right now, but I'm not sure if we can just pan round to the audience. Can I just ask everybody in the room who's been a student on this project, either in the recent past or many years ago? I know Kaylee's here. She hasn't got grey hair like me. Can you just put your hand up if you've worked on the project in the past? as a mentor. Okay, apologies for not asking you to speak today. We'd have been here for a long time. But I will come back to this later on. They are stunning ambassadors for the institution and testimony to what the programme does. Many of those guys are in senior positions now, working across sport, mental health, the arts and creative industries, and get good graduate leadership jobs within months of leaving, and within 2 to 3 years of leaving, go on to become sector leaders in this space. And that's testimony to them as individuals for the work that they've done and the development that they themselves, I'm sure, have experienced. And we try to capture some of that through the toolkit that you'll see. It is now freely available online for everyone to use. We are sharing some of the insight, not all of the insight. I will charge you for that. But in all seriousness, the student experience is what underlines all of the toolkit that you'll see online. It is accessible via the internet, and hopefully Lou, because she is so powerful, has got the internet to work as well. If you do go online, like Lou is, shall I tell you a joke while we're just waiting? If we can't, Lou, go back to the page. Yeah, we'll just wait. We ready? On the programme, you also develop digital literacy skills as you do these things. But what I should say, just while we're doing that, it is remiss of us not so far to acknowledge contribution that other colleagues in the institution, that's great, thank you, have made to the last 2 years in particular, but also over the last 5 or 6 years. And that really is our careers colleagues. I know Becca and Nick are in the room. I'm just going to identify yourself for embarrassment purposes. Where none of this could have been possible without the support of those guys, and working not only with the students, but in bringing together for us today in one concise space the graduate learning and attributes that students have developed over the course of the last 2 years. So you will see lots of videos along the toolkit. It is available obviously online, but also available, of course, through phones, iPads and so on. It is compatible for all of those. What you will see through the toolkit, as we just scroll down, Lou, you'll hear a little about what the project is, who the partners are. You've heard from those already, so I won't repeat some of that. But I think if we just scroll down a bit, Lou, so we got the orange and green boxes. Can you do that without seeing the screen? See, she's even good at that. Okay. What you will see here is the student journey, and for us, that is deliberate, because the project, as important it is for our children and young people and schools and all of the key partners that have been referred to earlier, from an Edge Hill perspective, for this particular element, it is the student journey, the student transformation that we wish to emphasise on this occasion. And also because the students are absolutely vital inputs to making these types of projects and programmes work. Without them, we can't reach the number of children and young people in the schools that we work with over a significant footprint in the Liverpool City region and Greater Manchester. And what is really important is tracking that student journey through. It isn't something, I'm sure some of you guys in the room will attest to. It's not give me. Students have to apply for this. They are interviewed rigorously. They're asked to do practical activities. They're then working constantly with children and young people and schools throughout their time on the project and continually reflecting and evaluating so that they are in the excellent position that many of them are in now. And it is quite humbling to see a lot of you guys in the room. It makes me feel old, so my nephew is correct. And the students go back to 2015 when we launched this, which coincided with the launch of our MSc in Sport, Physical Activity and Mental Health, which continues to be supported by Everton. And we're particularly grateful, of course, for the experience that students get with Everton and now, of course, with Tate Liverpool. That is captured in the toolkit. You will see examples of preparing students for highly skilled work. So, Lou, I'm not sure if you can flick that button for us. I should have told you that I was going to do this, didn't I, really? Yeah. Okay, don't worry. What you'll do, if you click into the highly skilled work, you will begin to see some student case studies and short clips that have students recall their particular experiences on the programme, the types of job roles that students go in to work in. I referred earlier to the diverse sectors that students work in. It's not just in sport or indeed in the creative industries. Many of them are working in clinical roles or non-clinical roles into kind of community programs, and have taken and developed the ideas that they have developed through Tackling the Blues. Eddie's here, I know, from Sale. We've got Jess and Mary from Preston. So you see Tackling the Blues all over the place now, but just not called Tackling the Blues. So I'm not sure if that's called plagiarism or whether it's called very good development from us. Either way, and I know there are many other students in here that are doing great work with it. For us, that's the greatest testimony to what has been achieved by students and by the institution and the partnership. So you will see evidence of that in here. In relation to knowledge exchange, that's been critical for us, both as an institution but also as a programme. And it's knowledge exchange in a whole range of ways and in multiple directions. It's around students learning from other students and, of course, from colleagues here at Edgehill, but gaining valuable experience and insight from the partners on the project, but also in and through the schools, young people, families and others. And it's really that rounded appreciation of the challenges that we all face in relation to mental health across the system that the students will gain valuable experience from. And we're really pleased and hope that this is a catalyst for further knowledge exchange work as an institution, and particularly from the programme team, and to begin to evidence some of the benefits that the students themselves have talked to us about. And then just to move down slightly further, just one more, Lou. One of the key things for us, as has hopefully been apparent over the last 40, 50 minutes or so, is the partnership benefits and the ways in which the institution, as an anchor point in the local communities, works with those partners to deliver the types of outcomes that you can see across the sector and across the system. The whole is certainly greater than the parts, and it's really key that we've been able to use community organisations, clinical services and educational institutions to challenge and address some of the greatest issues that we're currently faced with. And I think, as Ollie flagged earlier, it's been important for us to support students, particularly over the last 2 years, with their own educational needs and mental health support. Of course, when you're informed about the success of projects like this, like we were in May, we were told this just as the pandemic was beginning to start, and then we began to realise how we're going to deliver a project in schools in 3 months' time with no online content, with no one trained in any of this. It was really testimony to all of the staff, and particularly to the students. Students joined us from a range of locations, from kitchen tables to bedrooms, cameras on or off. Eventually they're all on at the end. But they did a lot of this in very challenging circumstances and actually became real important innovative thought leaders in how we could engage children and young people through that process. And a lot of that interest and insight is captured in the toolkit. Particularly in the second year, the development and move to hybrid learning and developments and insight there is also captured. So the toolkit is deliberately diverse. It captures lots of the learning across 2 quite turbulent years, but it also enables us to address some of the critical issues that we face not only as a society but of course as a sector, and they include equality, diversity and inclusion, and the key representational challenges that faces, the mental health challenges. And what's key for us is that this isn't all around mental health always been perceived in a negative way. We know there are challenges, but this is about what can we do positively, productively, meaningfully and sustainably to improve and support the lives of others. And that is one of the underlying messages and themes that you'll see, not only of the toolkit here, but also in the talk that you'll hear this afternoon. And just a nod in that direction. Mark already referred to Dr. Alex George. He will be joining us after you've had your lunch, so don't run away. Alex will join us for a conversation around mental health from his perspective, particularly, of course, as a doctor, but also some of the insights that he's gleaned as the UK Youth Mental Health Ambassador. And it's in that capacity that we're delighted that Alex has endorsed and spoken very positively about the toolkit that you've seen here, but also, of course, around the collaborative benefits of the partnership working that we've already referred to. So we will talk in more detail around that as part of the conversation later on. But the learning for different sectors and for different organisations, including universities, is including in the toolkit, and we strongly encourage, obviously, any colleagues or partners. And Lou's already referred to this. 3 years ago, we didn't work at all with Tate Liverpool. They've since become a central pillar of activity on the programme and opened new opportunities for our students to learn from those experiences and to work in partnership now with Everton on a range of activities. So even if you think, how do we fit in this space, please do have conversations with any of us. We'd be delighted to work with you and to build on the success, not only of work with Tate and Everton, but particularly with Chasing the Stigma as well. You all look as if you're very hungry and want me to shut up, so I'm going to. Please do access the toolkit. It is now fully available online at that website. We will share this in post-launch comms as well. There will be a series of videos, and thanks to everybody who helped in that. And you will see contributions from the institution as well as our students and partners in relation to that. We'd be happy to take any questions as we go through the afternoon on that. But for now, thanks again for listening and particularly to you guys for filling the gap before me. Okay, thanks very much. Cheers.
This is the most important announcement, I think, of the morning now. So I think lunch is just arriving. So I'd say in a couple of minutes, Kathy, would we be? Yep, so in a couple of minutes, lunch will be there and good to go. So please do stay and enjoy it before Dr. Alex comes and does his session with us this afternoon. So thank you again for being here. Thank you for all you do and have done for Tackling the Blues. And we look forward to continuing to work with as many of you as possible. Thank you. Okay.